Over the last year with Ferodo, we really have learned a huge amount about all of the components that go into a working vehicle, about the safety critical systems and how to keep them running at an optimal rate. Ultimately, how to be more conscientious, better road users. Well, we have a wonderful opportunity to put that all into practice as we take our year-end break and hit the open road. So we thought we'd do a bit of a recap and give you a holiday checklist to make sure that you, your family and other road users arrive at your holiday destination and home safely and having had a wonderful year-end.
Some of the important things to check is that your lights are working, your brakes are in good condition and the oil level is optimal. Bertha Steyn takes us through the safety checks for holiday driving.
Bertie, it is with a huge amount of gratitude that I have to say I've learned so much over our journey together. And I think something that I really have taken on board is that safety out on the roads is not just about driving, it's not just about having the correct components and those running in the proper order, but it's about the maintenance and the well-being of the entire system. So now before we join the throngs out on the open roads for the festive season, where do our maintenance checks begin?
Very important thing, the vehicle must be serviced at least 1 week before you leave for your vacation. If you encounter anything that needs to be replaced and you need to order parts, for instance, it will be there in time to ensure that you leave on time for your holiday. During this service, a lot of times the brake system will be inspected. Servicing might be done on the system itself to ensure that it's nice and a safe, good working condition. The oil will be changed on the vehicle, all the filters will be changed. And some instances the spark plugs will be changed as well, depending on the application of the spark plugs itself on the vehicle. And something that I was fortunate enough to experience, the technicians took me through the suspension of my vehicle itself to ensure that everything is nice and tight and in a good working condition.
Now we know that there are some critical checks to do. You've taken us through a huge list over the last year. Can you condense that into a nice little checklist, something I can tick off before I hit the open road?
Something very, very important is the condition of the tires. Also the condition of the spare wheel. Also, when we check the tire pressures, we must ensure that the tires are actually cold. Early in the mornings before you start driving with a vehicle, that pressure needs to be checked. Something to remember is the tools to change that spare wheel if you encounter a situation where you're stuck next to the road with a flat wheel. Also very important, remember guys, the fire extinguisher and your medical emergency kit. You need to get it in the vehicle. Make sure that you travel with it at all time. Something to inspect is definitely the condition of the windscreen. Make sure that there's no cracks or fractures in the windscreen itself. Make sure that the wiper blades are replaced to ensure that if you encounter rain, you've got a nice clear vision of the surroundings around you and the conditions where you're driving in. Something very important to remember.
I know you're going to be hitting the open road yourself going on holiday. What advice would you like to give our viewers to round off the year?
The holiday starts at home, not when you arrive at your destination itself. So be in a relaxed state on the public roads. Also consider other road users around you. Everyone wants to get to the destination safely. Remember, no texting and driving, no drinking and driving, and remember the traffic department will be out in full force, so obey the rules of the road.
After an incredible journey of discovery this year, I also have to say thank you to you guys at home for being so interactive and asking the right questions, for ultimately being conscientious drivers. So when we take toll at the end of this holiday season, there'll be no finger pointing. We know that the responsibility of creating safer roads rests on your and my shoulders squarely. We have all of the tools and we have all of the information to stay in control. All that remains is to pick an awesome destination and have an unforgettable holiday.
You're in control with Ferodo.